Most sound designers, myself included, fall into the same traps over and over again, even after years of practice. But after working in the industry for over 13 years now, and learning directly from the pros at ArenaNet, Sony, Microsoft, Riot, and many others, I could finally see through the matrix and understand why my sound design just kind of felt meh for so long. So to make sure you don't stay in the same pit for nearly as long as I had to, I'm going to show you 3 mistakes that every sound designer makes and how to fix them so that your work doesn't get sounding so weak and uninspired. Mistake number 1. A few years ago, I ran an online course where I gave students feedback on their assignments and sound design work every single day. Yes, every day they'd post some sound design and I would give feedback. And by the end of that course, I gave over 12,000 pieces of feedback in the span of around 6 weeks. And out of those 12,000 bits of feedback, the number 1 piece of advice I gave over and over again was stop stacking your layers so they play all at once. And that's what mistake number 1 is all about. Having your sound effects layers play at the exact same time in your DAW. When we're layering our different bits of sound and audio on top of one another, say for a gunshot, it's tempting to think that all of those sounds happen at the exact same time. After all, it's a gunshot. It's one big explosion, right? Shouldn't we just cram a bunch of sounds on top of one another so they sound huge and epic? And while I understand the logic behind that, that doesn't always lead to great audio. Instead, you're going to want to time each individual layer separately. Every layer needs a little bit of room to breathe. While sounds can play at the same time, you want to be intelligent about what sounds will play at what time and make sure that each element isn't drowning everything else out. And you can even exaggerate this timing to create a sense of rhythm and power. Let's take an example from a simple Doom gunshot that I made in an older video. Let's play it with all the layers playing at the exact same time. Now let's space them out a bit and listen to how the same layers with the same processing sound when they're properly timed and each one has its own carved out little space. Just this simple technique can lead to incredibly satisfying results if you do it correctly, and very bland results if you don't. So pretty much no matter what you're making, make sure all of your layers aren't just shoved on top of one another and playing at the same time. Mistake number 2. Over the years, I've given a lot of feedback on a lot of demo reels, and I do this for my private online students all the time. But don't ask me for a demo reel review if you're not one of my students. It takes me forever to look at them, and I'm not doing this for free. No one likes demo reels. But when I see a demo reel out in the wild, they're often using, well, terrible source material. Usually stuff stolen from YouTube or other video games, or God forbid, freesound.org, or stuff they recorded with a Yakback from 1991. Remember Yakbacks? Does anyone? Okay, no, let's just move on. But there are so many amazing AAA quality free sample libraries out there that people are just ignoring for no reason. They're just choosing to have bad samples and use them in the work that's supposed to get them hired. That's like insisting that you eat the slime at the bottom of a dumpster when you're being offered a Michelin star meal for free. So that's what mistake 2 is about. Don't use bad source material. Use the good stuff. It'll help you sound way better, although yes, you still need to actually design the sounds that you're plopping in. Don't just use these good libraries as a crutch where you just drop in sounds and do nothing to them and just call it good. But where, oh where do you find these good free libraries? Well, here are just a few, but I'll put more in the description down below. First up is the Pro Sound Effects Game Audio Bundle. There's also the Soundly Free Library, the Sonus GDC Game Audio Bundles, freetoUsesounds.com, the Boom Library free sound effects, and there are so many more. Just check the description. There's honestly literally no reason not to grab these, even if you're a full-time pro. Mistake number 3. Even though I work in the indie, III, AA space of game development, I'll sometimes do job interviews at AAA companies for fun. I want to see what these companies are looking for, what kind of audio tests they do, and it keeps me able to best help my students too, and help me prepare them for job interviews. It also helps me keep my finger on the pulse of what's going on in the industry as well. As a part of these applications, there's almost always an audio test. Usually the kind where they give you a video, you take the audio out, and you replace it all with your own sound effects. But also, they often do an audio implementation test where they want to see how you'd set up sounds in Wise or Fmod, Unreal, or Unity, or whatever game engine they're using. And they want to see how you get your sounds out of a DAW and functioning properly within a game. Because honestly, it doesn't matter how good your sound is if it doesn't play back properly within a game. And it really doesn't matter if you yourself don't fully understand how your audio will get into the game and how it should play back. After all, game audio has some pretty big differences from working in film, where you can just put a sound on the timeline and know for sure that it'll play back the same every time. So this is the third big mistake that so many sound designers make, where they just don't consider how their sounds are going to work in the game before they even start designing. Is the sound going to loop? Will it play multiple variants? Will it clash with the music? Is there potential dialogue happening at the same time? How many of the same sound will play at the same time? Will it duck all the other sounds when this one plays? Is it in a 3D space? How will it propagate through the 3D space? There are so many considerations to even think about before you make any noise. And the people who don't or can't think about their sound in this way will continue to get overlooked for every job that they apply for. If you're new to the world of game audio implementation, I recommend going through Audiokinetic's free courses on their website to learn Wise and Wise implementation from scratch. There's way more to learn than what they show you, but it's an excellent place to start or even enhance your skill set. Link in the description below. So those are the 3 mistakes I see most beginner sound designers make, but even if you avoid these, that won't fully set your career up forever. So to make sure you don't make any career mistakes on top of sound design ones, make sure to watch my next video on the 5 beginner lessons every sound designer should learn. All right, that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. Go pet a dog.